Hey, and welcome to a brand new edition of the Rundown with Ramon. My name is Ramon Ray. Glad you're here today. If you weren't here today, Jimmy, if you weren't here today, Catherine, what a lonely show would be. But you showed up and you're here today. A brand new day that we have on the Rundown with Ramon. Glad you're here today. We got a lot in store for you today. A few things we're going to cover today. One, can you identify your ideal customer? Or I'm curious, are they maybe hiding from you? The experience economy. We're going to touch on the experience economy and what that is. Seth Godin always has great insight from us. We're going to touch on something he wrote called Modern Apologies. From our friends at Entrepreneur, your business won't grow until you tackle these 3 leadership blind spots. Trust me, I've got a lot of blind spots. We're going to touch on this. I try to be less sedentary at work so that I'll live longer. I'll keep up 3 habits. We're going to touch on this. 7 ways to scale a startup into $1 billion business. 10 reasons why you should fire a client who's bad for your business. And hey, we need more squat racks. We're going to touch on that. And then how and where consumers discover products on social media. I hope y'all ready for it. A brand new episode of The Rundown with Ramon is starting in seconds. Sit back and relax, and let's get started for a brand new edition of The Rundown with Ramon. Check this out. All right, and we're back. Here's the Rundown with Ramon. Again, my name is Ramon Ray. If you didn't know, you're just joining. Started 5 companies, sold 3 companies, authored 5 books here to help you live your best life or start to grow your business. All we do on the Rundown with Ramon is one thing and one thing alone, and that's to give you the tips, the tips and insights you need for your business, if you have a business, and whether you have a business or not, to help you change your life. Kerwin, Phillip, and others who are hopping on and joining us today. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get with it today on the Rundown with Ramon. Ding, 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 ding. Up first is, can you identify your ideal customer? My friend Lauren Feldman, 21 Hats Podcast, Jimmy, talks about this. 21 Hats Podcast, definitely a great newsletter and more to look about. And Michael Girdley explains how to identify your ideal customers. Now, why is identifying your ideal customers so important? Because if you don't know who your customers are, it's really hard to be in business, I would dare say, if you don't know who your ideal customers are. Let me raise my chair up a little bit. If you don't know who your ideal customers are, because customers are the lifeblood of your business. Customers are why you're in business. They have a they have a problem. They need a solution to something they're struggling with. It could be their child is sick and they need cough syrup. It could be they're lonely and they need entertainment. It could be taxes are around the corner and they need to get their taxes filed properly. Any number of problems, pain points they have. Maybe they need a new shirt like I probably need here instead of the raggedy shirt here I got on, which I shouldn't have on. Some problem they have that you can solve for. So do you know who your customer is? Michael Girdley gives a few ways to do this. 1, use whatever customer management system you have to gather data on your existing customer base. You have so much data inside your business. Are you using that to identify and find out who your current customer is, who's buying most of what you're selling? Number 2, once you've identified your valuable customers, look at their characteristics. Go from broad to specific. What industry are they in? If you're B2B, what size company are they from? Now, figure out why your customers need you. What is it that you have intrinsically that causes them to want to work with you? This is so important. You can spin your wheels all day long trying to build a business, but if you're not locked and loaded into who your right customer is, it is absolutely no bueno. Listen, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. You've just joined the Rundown with Ramon, and I'm so glad you're here today. But knowing who your customers are is absolutely important. Again, shout out to my friend Lauren Feldman, his 21 Hats Podcast. Moving forward here today on the Rundown with Ramon. Ding, 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 ding. The experience economy is booming, and so is regret. Now, this is from the Hustle, I believe it is, by HubSpot. Interesting here. Somebody couldn't afford Taylor Swift tickets, so she decided to see the next best thing, Olivia Rodrigo. Now, sorry, I bet Olivia Rodrigo has millions of fans and followers. I don't know who she is. But this is the principle. I'm not someone who spends a lot, says Vallejo in an email interview. But after being shocked by Swift tickets for as high as $5,000, $400 for 2 Rodrigo tickets for her and her kid sister didn't seem too steep. What's up, Pat? Glad you're here today. The Montreal show is exciting. But afterward, Vallejo, who's 25 and works in the nonprofit sector, thought about her refrigerator, which is so old and broken that the whole back is literally just a frozen block of ice. Months later, she has yet to replace it. Do I regret the concert? A little. And I regret the price. It's a story that captures a distinct 2023-2024 sensation, a coveted, expensive purchase for an experience followed by guilt. Listen, everybody. As you're looking to grow your business, what is the experience you're providing to your customers? Is the experience so good that afterwards they don't regret it? They know they got the value out of it that not only you promised them, but that they promised to themselves. This is the secret sauce, as it were. Entertainment, see, a Taylor Swift ticket or other ticket from any entertainer is one thing. Now, if you have disposable income, it's great. But if you're struggling between, do you fix your refrigerator or go to a concert, after you get that feeling, that euphoria, that what is that McDealy, that thing that happens when we feel excitement, that rush, that dopamine, which God made and which is part of the human experience, then what happens? What do we do? So this is the crux. The experience economy is good. The experience economy is there. But the question I have for you is, what else then? As you're delivering amazing experiences to your perfect customers, make sure that they don't regret it. And there's very little you can do. You can't guarantee it because people are different. Buyer's remorse. That's exactly right. And what can we do to make sure our buyers don't have buyer's remorse? The Musical Web on YouTube, when they buy from us. This is the key. Are we doing everything we can to make sure that when they buy from us, they're saying, you know what? This was a great experience. Again, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. This is the Rundown with Ramon. I'm so glad you're here today. Thanks for being here. And listen, the Musical Web is jumping right in again. That's right. Over deliver. And remember, of course, some customers you can never keep happy. You just can't do it. Everything you do, they're going to complain about. But do everything you can, Annette. Do everything you can, elevate leadership. Everything you can, Pat, to make sure that when they buy from you, they know they got their money's worth and then some. Again, my name is Ramon Ray. You've joined the Rundown with Ramon, where we help you live your best life or start or grow your business. Jumping in again. Ding, 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 ding. I love me some Seth Godin. I've read Seth Godin for years, followed his pithy email newsletter, which comes out daily. His over, 20-something plus books, all bestsellers, a new one coming out or out already. Modern Apologies, Seth Godin writes, the AI-driven voicemail system said, I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. Of course there is no I, and by most definitions of sorry, it's not. But it made me feel better. The overworked and slightly bitter front desk person who was the frontline flotsam in a poorly designed system couldn't be bothered. Even though the person they worked for was canceling the appointment and I had spent 10 minutes returning their call through a maze of badly designed prompts and it was a hassle to reschedule, they wouldn't say, I'm sorry. After all, they didn't cancel the appointment or design the system. Sorry doesn't have to be an admission of guilt or acceptance of fault. It could simply be the kind way one human acknowledges to another human that things aren't ideal right now. The magic of this simple word is that it can make both people feel better. Hey, Karen, glad you're here. Welcome to a brand new day, Karen. Good day to you. So Seth Godin writes, think about how we can use apologies in our business, apologies in our personal lives. Apology doesn't have to mean that we're guilty. Apology doesn't have to mean that we're wrong per se, but in the context of what Seth Godin is talking about, and increasingly he's talked about the emotional side of business, the emotional side of life. That the best English we have of saying I'm sorry doesn't mean necessarily I'm wrong, but it's an acknowledgement that I know you're going through something, I'm going through something, and let's get through it together. This is not, or as Seth Godin said, quoting from him, this is not an ideal situation. It makes me feel better because I've acknowledged that. I can have some empathy expressed through saying I'm sorry, and it definitely makes you feel better because you feel seen and heard, and you feel that somebody understands you. A new way to consider and look at, I'm sorry. But you know one thing I'm not sorry for? I'm not sorry for you being here. This is the Rundown with Ramon, and I'm so glad you're here today as we continue moving forward on the Rundown with Ramon. Ding, 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 ding. Your business won't grow until you tackle these 3 leadership blind spots. Writes David Boyce. Blind spots of leader. 1, the product-driven blind spot. I'm always pushing the product to be better. When people tell me something can't be done, it kicks me into overdrive to find a way to prove them wrong. Over time, this led to an ambitious list of product enhancements that didn't have a clear roadmap behind them. Now, it didn't have a negative impact on revenue. It impacted efficiency and adoption because we were rolling out so many new products at once, sometimes even before they were fully tested. So that's one blind spot that leaders can have, is the product-driven blind spot, the feedback ignorance blind spot. Every successful company is driven by a strong collaborative team. Our company lives by our core values. Teams, which stands for teamwork, empower, accountability, mutual respect, and serves. We're a very team-oriented company. I value my team's feedback and advice. As a CEO, it's just impossible and unsustainable for me to be involved in every detail of the organization. So I had to learn to trust my team to provide me with thoughtful feedback and attainable solutions. Here's the problem. When you're a leader and people give you feedback and you ignore it, this doesn't mean you have to listen to every bit of feedback and whiplash your way back and forth and around. That's insanity in business. But this does mean if you don't have a mechanism to get feedback, if you don't have a mechanism to understand what's going right and what's going wrong, that's going to be not so good for your business. And it's a good thing in your life as well. Me and my wife, 30 years of marriage, I know all the things I'm doing wrong in my marriage, that's for sure. I'm doing a lot. What about you? Do you take the time to ask your friends, your family, your spouse, your kids, how can I do better? Again, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray, talking about 3 blind spots of leaders. We've talked about 1 is the product-driven blind spot, 2, the feedback ignorance blind spot, and 3, the change resistance blind spot. Change may be frightening, and humans as we are have a natural tendency to resist it, especially when everything appears to be operating well as usual. I've observed that waiting too long to implement critical changes can be just as damaging as changing too often. Let me say that again. Waiting too long to implement changes, waiting too long can be just as damaging as changing too often, Annette. So you have to be careful about the change because you don't want to change too often and you don't want to wait too long to change. There has to be a balance. So how can you help with these things? 1, stay close to your customers. And overcoming blind spots is so important. These are things we can work on day by day by day, especially in coordination and conjunction with our teams. Again, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. This is the Rundown with Ramon. I'm so excited that you're here today. Spread the word and let others know you're joining and watching the Rundown with Ramon. Hit the forward button. Hit the forward button. Let others know if you're enjoying the show. Take a screenshot, post it on social, tag me. Let people know you're watching the Rundown with Ramon. So glad you're here today. Ding, 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 ding. What's next? 7 ways to scale a startup into a billion-dollar business. I thought this insight would be of value. Why? Because the lessons we can learn scaling a business into a billion-dollar business are similar lessons we can learn for other things as well. So how do you scale a business into $1 billion business? How do you do that? Well, Maria Cho says a few things. One, and again, $1 billion business. If you're getting that way, I am Regina Fleming. Then you be able to build $1 million business. If you're building $1 million business, you can build a business that's to a couple $100,000 in revenue. One, start with the right problem. Do you know the problem you're trying to solve? Number two, focus on operational excellence. If you're going to build a large $1 billion brand, the operational structure of the business must flow. Achieve product market fit. A crucial milestone in our journey has been achieving product market fit. At least 4 out of 10 customers would be very disappointed if our product or service ceased to exist. We knew we had achieved product market fit. Stay focused and avoid overreach. One of the biggest lessons I learned, and something I see as a common pitfall for startups, is the danger of trying to do too much. Stay focused and avoid overreach. Don't do too much. Build a cohesive A team. This is important whether you're building $1 billion business, $1 million business, or a business with you and 2 freelancers for $200,000. This is how you build a proper business, Karen. That's right. I always have a new chance to get it right. And hey, good day to you. Good day to you, Alexandria. Glad you're here on the Rundown with Ramon. Good day to you. So this is an important thing to understand. As you're seeking to build a bigger business, consider horizontal integration. In the biotech sector, I've learned the value of moving away from vertical integration, where a company controls multiple stages of production, toward horizontal integration, where each partner in the value chain specializes in a specific area of expertise. This is the sign of a mature industry. Number 7, think globally. If you're trying to build $1 billion business, this doesn't mean that you can only build a business in America or in the Philippines or in India, Nigeria, in Brazil. But globally, there's customers all around who may be a good fit for your product or service. Are you thinking of the globe beyond your country? Not just your country. Are you thinking of beyond your neighborhood? The steps that it takes to build $1 billion brand could be similar to what it takes to build $1 million business. And these are very important to keep in mind. It's not just building the business, but the sustainability of the business. Ding, 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 ding. Moving forward here, I wanted to touch on something else here that I missed out on. We talked about your business won't grow until you tackle these 3 leadership blind spots. We talked about how to build a $1 billion brand with 7 key tips. I want to touch on this as well. Habits. Business Insider headline says, I tried to be less sedentary at work so that I'll live longer. I'll keep up 3 habits that made my days more enjoyable. Health experts say that sitting too much can raise our risk of dying early. Thank you so much, Annette. Appreciate it. I tried 4 things to make my work week less sedentary, including exercise, snacking hour. And on your side, Annette, it's me on your side. If sitting is the new smoking, as one health expert told me last year, then I'm a chain smoker. Listen, that's talking about sitting. From 9 to 5, my brain is super active at work, but my body is pretty sedentary. That's not unusual. We don't spend enough time lifting, standing, or walking, and it's really bad for our health. So what can we do to move better? 1, a break every hour for exercise snacks to exercise our body. Exercise snacks are what? Short 1 to 2 minute bursts of intense workouts. Studies have suggested they can improve endurance, prevent strokes, and lower risk of early death from cardiovascular disease and cancer. So I tried breaking every hour to do 2 minutes of squats, jumping jacks, or running up and down the stairs. In practice, it really didn't work for me. It's also much harder in an office than at home. Standing meetings had mixed success. Standing, walking meetings were also easier at home than in the office. I could, with a little effort, clear some space on my bookshelf to take video meetings stood up, and I could listen to company-wide live streams while walking around the block. So what can you do to stand up and move? Lunch breaks for better for longer workouts. During your lunch break, snack, yes. Get a little food, yes. But also move your body. Just going to the office meant I was less sedentary. By just going into the office, you become less sedentary because sitting in a home office like I am right now at a desk, what's up, Kim Wyckoff? Glad you're here. Then, well, you tend to be more sedentary. What about you, Kim? What about you, Karen? What about you, Alexandria? What about you, the musical web? What about you, Annette? What about you, I am Regina? Can you move your body more? Do you find that you need to do just a little bit more? Good, everybody. My name is Ramon Ray. This is the Rundown with Ramon, and I'm so glad you're with me today. 10 reasons why you should fire a client who's bad for your business. Don't forget, by keeping toxic clients, there's a hidden cost to that. It's not good for you. It's not good for your team. Cash flow chaos ensues. Having a bad client, especially one who doesn't pay on time, doesn't pay at all, hurts your cash flow, hurts your business. That client doesn't respect you. They're undervaluing your worth. The opportunity cost. Who else could you be serving or working with at the expense when they're not working with you right? Could they be hurting your reputation? What's up, Gladson? Stifling innovation. Difficult clients resist change. Could they stifle the innovation of your business? The emotional toll. Working with a bad client that you know you need to fire, could there be an emotional toll? Does it set a dangerous precedent emotionally for you that you're going to keep attracting bad clients? Don't forget, you have the power to say no. You don't have to keep a bad client. It's okay to let them go. Instead of keeping bad clients, you should be focusing on your ideal customer, your good customer. I love this. Going back to the workout, the musical web's chiming in. I do 15-minute cardio and stomach workouts 3 mornings per week. I love it. I love it. I love it. In a few minutes, I'm getting ready to go to the park and do a 30-minute workout and some pull-ups as well. Everybody listen, running a business is not easy. Being a good person is not easy, always, but we do the best we can. Touch on another thing here, a few more things. We need more squat racks. Interesting what's happening in gyms across America. Gyms, now elliptical graveyards, are scrambling to remodel for the strength training renaissance. More and more people, it looks like, want to do strength training. Fastest growing gym activities are what? Kettlebells, free weights, walking, and barbells. Interesting. Fastest declining gym activities: stair climbing machine, weight resistance machines, elliptical, and swimming. Stair climbing machines are going down. I don't know why. I guess gym owners are aware. Trust me, our members will come up to us and tell us exactly how they feel. It looks like the treadmill is going away and people want to do more strength training. Cardio created the gym industry. There was a time prior to the 1960s, fitness trends didn't really exist. But then people got the exercise thingamajiggy. I don't know who it was, Jack LaLanne or whoever. The problem with cardio-centric gym was that it stemmed from a half-baked understanding of fitness. Cardio certainly plays a role, says Business Insider, in heart health and longevity, but it's not the whole story. Strength training is important as well. Thank you so much. The Navy recruiter knows my name and shouted me out. I will have an incredible day. Love your feed. It's lovely. What the evidence is showing is that building muscle through strength training as opposed to using cardio to manage weight has a much greater effect on promoting longevity. Let me say that again. Building muscle through strength training as opposed to using cardio to manage weight has a much greater effect on promoting longevity. Hey, Joe Morris. Hey, eyes on mine. Love that you're joining. The boom in strength training. In the early months of 2020, people working out at home turned to social media influencers and personal trainers, many of whom extolled the benefits of resistance training. So in 2020, suddenly influencers were amassing millions more followers around the world. Fans pent up in their living rooms, wanted to feel strong and look good. So now that we're all in the gym now, all moving forward, people want to keep that up and do strength training, want to get those abs, want to feel good. So, hey, gyms are having a dilemma because people don't want to just do cardio anymore. Kim says, I ride my bike 10 minutes multiple times a day. Good for you. Love it, love it, love it. For me, it's pull-ups and park. All right, moving forward, one more thing I want to touch on real quick here before we end the Rundown with Ramon. Ding, 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 ding. How and where consumers discover products on social media. It's important for you to know it. What are the places consumers go to discover their next product? People scroll, scroll, scroll. And if your product is there, people will see it. Again, it's part of not just they're going to see it. And once there's so much content, it's part of the strategy: email, newsletter, website, social media, paid advertising, word of mouth, events, and more. But that's part of the equation. Gen X discovers new products on social media at the same rate as Gen Z, with 40% saying they discovered a new product on social media in the last 3 months. But again, discovering the product and buying it are two different things. Social media product strategies. Dizzy with Entertainment is a wallpaper brand known for its quirky and artistic designs. To bring awareness to its brand, it promotes its products via short-form video platforms like TikTok. Heidi Doss is a brand specializing in dazzling, sparkling statement jewelry. The brand doesn't have an official TikTok, but it's leveraging TikTok and collaborating with other influencers. Fenty Beauty, a beauty brand, added something else to its social media strategy, creating its own TikTok filter. Seems like a lot of people are using TikTok. Hey, what's up, Phil? Glad you're here today. Gibson, iconic guitar maker Gibson Guitar, leverages Instagram to promote its latest guitars and amps, and it goes on and on and on. So it looks like, listen, if you want people to know your product or service and know more about your business, leveraging the power of great. More. And here's the go out and make a difference in somebody else's life. Let them know they care. Let them know that they matter. I'm wishing you a beautiful, beautiful, fantastic day today. My name is Ramon Ray. You've been listening to The Rundown with Ramon. Thanks for taking the time to join me today. And I want you to go out and let somebody know they matter, because I want to tell you, you matter. Be blessed, be well. And thanks for watching this episode of The Rundown with Ramon.